Okay, it's working. It works. It works. It works. Hello, Martin. Where's this video game? Yeah, like I said, I was with my parents. He made me watch Swedish Hidamari for 5 minutes. Swedish Hidamari. My parents also made me watch Swedish Hidamari. Also known as... I don't even know what it's called anymore. Umbu Yumbu. It was absolutely terrible. No, don't start. We're going to press this button and that button. Money. Also people's computers. Also the fact that it's on PS3, or was. It's on PS4 now. So consoles. Consoles are usually the major limiting factor of all video games. Just firewood today. My dad was done apparently. I think I like Stormblood better than Heavensward personally. I'm not sure. And we get the title screen. That's nice. But yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's better. I just, from memory, I just feel like Stormblood was nicer. From like a feel point of view. But whether the story structure is a total mess or not, I don't know. We shall see. Because now we're gonna do the first quest. While undertaking a leave. I don't give a shit about your leave. Like there. It's such a badly made mode. Back to Paladin. Now we're finally gonna start leveling again. Beyond the Great Wall. Eminence Toll. Fuck, my arm hurts so bad. Because I was at my parents' and I bought Slay the Spire for my phone because I was bored. And playing mobile games is painful. I don't understand how people do it. Like just lying in the couch playing mobile games. It absolutely destroys my arms. My mobile gaming muscles are not up to the task.
The question is, how will the Empire respond to the disappearance of Omega and the Primal? Oh, I didn't see you there. Forgive me. Word from Baelsar's wall is proving long in the coming, and my mind cannot help but stray to grim places.
Alphino, a message from the Alliance.
It's about time. Pray summon the others at once.
Yes, sir.
Want to eat things. My mom made a lasagna.
General Uldin reports that his forces have secured the breach in Baelsar's wall.
But she only thought that she had ground beef in it. Because she thought she made like bolognese meat sauce. Put it in the freezer. And then she took it out and she put it in. And then when we started eating, she was like, this is only tomato sauce.
And what of the Primal and Omega?
Yeah, I don't want to call it bolognese. This is a terrible word.
There is still no sign of either at this time. He writes that they will begin a more thorough investigation shortly.
Only people with noses that look like this
And,
use
as
the word
expected,
bolognese.
he wishes to petition the aid of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn.
As expected.
Yeah, that's what I said.
The Alliance's decision to capture a part of Baelsar's wall is open to interpretation.
The wall serves to demarcate Imperial territory, Alamigo included, from the rest of Eorzea. To an observer, the Alliance's actions could be seen as a prelude to invasion.
Indeed. And the Alliance leaders have no wish to be branded invaders.
You're saying they won't fight for Alamigo? Even after everything that's happened?
Not without the consent of her people, no. Make no mistake, Lys. The Alliance is in complete agreement that the Empire must be purged from Eorzea. However, they will not set foot in Gyr Abania until they have formally secured the consent and cooperation of the Alamegan opposition.
They would have us act as intermediaries.
Precisely. The Scions are uniquely qualified to serve in this capacity. That is to say, Lys's, given her personal connection to the Resistance. Who better than you to broker an agreement between the Alliance and the people of Alamigo? Assuming you are willing, of course.
Of course I am. You know I'd like nothing more.
As for who should accompany you on said diplomatic mission, I had a mind to volunteer myself.
Well, that covers the talking part. But you just know there'll be trouble along the way. Are you available?
Maybe people wouldn't mind if the Empire wasn't literally super evil.
Look, I know I've kept things from you, and I'm sorry, I really am. But that's all over now, I swear, and it'd mean a lot to me, having you at my side.
I too shall accompany you. Such endeavors are seldom hampered by a surfeit of healers.
Good point. Allow me to offer my services as well. I have spent quite enough time here of late, so I'll be coming. But we will need someone to keep an eye on things. I trust you have no objections?
None, my lady. Gladly shall I continue to serve as caretaker of the Waking Sands, and there keep watch for signs of primal and Ascian activity both.
As capable as my learned friend undoubtedly is, there are some troubles that may prove too much for a single scion, on account of which I mean to stay.
I mean,
It is settled then. Let us each see to our preparations.
if they weren't so evil, the Empire would be good. Because they actually have, like, good reasons for doing what they're doing. But they're doing it in literally the worst way they can possibly do it. Just, like, literally enslaving everyone.
Ready, my friend?
But they are doing it.
Well then. Tataru, I leave the rising stones in your capable hands.
They are doing it to get rid of what they call icons, which are the primals. They're just trying to stop that once and for all. But they're doing it by literally killing everyone. Raisins combined with peanuts. Very cringe by the Empire. What's cringe? It's not iconoclasm, you retard. They're literally giant evil demons that are destroying everything. And once they're summoned, they literally enslave everyone and turn them into, like, warring zombies. Shiva kinda hot, though. I guess.
Don't worry, Alphino. I'll see that the place is still standing when you come back.
I'm gonna go and fight some bigger boobs soon.
Mistress Y'shtola has unfolded all. You are bound for Gyr Abania?
Aye. The Alliance would have us make contact with the Alamegan resistance as soon as possible.
Yeah.
It begins then. As soon it shall in Doma, if the gods are good. 'Tis but a pity it must be now.
I typically...
am sorry that we shall not be present to fight beside you in the battles to come.
I typically have the Grand Company barding on it, because it looks the most natural. Otherwise, I have like a Black Mage barding, and it just looks weird when it's running around with a wizard hat.
You have stood with us countless times, Lady Yugiri. Pray do not apologize.
Then let us thank you instead. You and yours stood with us from the first, when we came to this land as refugees in search of sanctuary.
I can buy racing goggles, though.
Loath am I to think what might have become of my people, had you not extended to us the hand of friendship. We will never forget. This I solemnly swear.
Have you changed the chocobo color? Market board.
Much has changed since first you set foot on these shores. Revenant's toll stands as a testament to that. I'm sure your people will manage in your absence.
Honestly, check the console
Indeed.
games wiki.
They have built a new home for themselves and no longer need me to shepherd them. The time has come for Kosetsu and I to return to our master, to our home.
Because it's kind of complicated. It's not hard, but it's complicated
I know
to get
how
what you want.
feel. It's time I went home too.
Though our battlefields be 1,000 mounds apart, our purpose is one. That all men hearken to the clarion call of freedom, of liberation, from Eorzea to the far east, that they may rise up and cast down the curse of Garlemald.
Take care, you hear me? When all of this is over, we're going to celebrate together. Just you wait.
Oh.
I should like that very much. Fare you well.
Where did the voice acting go? 1,000 moms apart, yet united in purpose. Let us pray both our endeavors meet with success. Shall we then? Wait, not just yet. I knew I had forgotten something important. Please, could you come with me? Me? What, now? Alright then, if you insist. Haha, what do you think? As you can see, I designed it to be light and loose, an outfit tailor-made. The needs of a skilled fighter like Lise. Your work never ceases to impress. Much more of this, and I may have to stop introducing you as the Science receptionist and start referring to you as our preeminent seamstress. It's lovely, Tataru. Thank you, I feel like I could take on a legion. I'm glad you like it, and with that I delay you no longer. Safe travels. Then onward to Girabania. Our first stop will be at Amarasei's Spire, in the East Shroud. But yes. The chocobo's color is basically a slider. Or it's rather 3 sliders. It's red, green, blue sliders. And then there are food that you can give to it. And this food will just be like +5 red, -2 blue, -5 green. And then there are a bunch of different food that have different effects in that sense. So if you want to make it red, for example, you have to feed it a very specific combination of food in a certain order for it to get the right value that you want. And to do that, you need a guild house, I think. I'm not sure you can do it otherwise. Yeah, that doesn't count. Do you have an FC house? Because that's where the stable is. You need the stable. All are present and accounted for. When you are ready, my friend, pray inform the officer that we wish to proceed into Girabani. Ah, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. We were told to expect you. Shall I summon someone to escort you to the wall? Yes.
I remember crossing the border, standing in Girabania once more. Me and my fellow scions, the warrior of light among us. Behind us, Baelsar's wall cutting the land in two. Freedom on one side, tyranny on the other. Tyranny and the promise of a new beginning. But one that could only be bought with flames and blood.
Very exciting. Do I want to swap to this armor? It's got a little cloak. I wonder if I have that. I probably have that. I'll leave it there for now. Got a nice helmet. If I wear this, you can't see my cat ears. Why do you never wear a helmet normally? Because then I can't see my beautiful head. Greetings, Scions. On behalf of the Eorzean Alliance, I welcome you to Castrum Orients. Thank you, General. We were relieved to hear that your forces secured the wall without incident. Have the Imperials made any attempt to retake the Castrum since then? None. Save for a few skirmishes between our scouts and their patrols, we have had barely any contact with them. But we all know it's only a matter of time before things escalate. As if attacking Baelsar's wall weren't enough, Ilberd summoned a primal right into their doorstep, right on their doorstep. And Garlemald is not like to let such shows of defiance go unanswered. It was a declaration of war, even if it was not Ilberd's to make, and now we are bound by it, for weal or for woe. The Scions stand ready to serve. General, what would you ask of us? Oh, I thought it was Raban that was talking. As stated in the message, that the Alliance will not proceed without the support and cooperation of the Alamegan people. We would have you serve as our emissaries and make contact with the Resistance. Consider it done, General. We won't let you down, I swear. Then I'll leave you to it. Godspeed. Ah, of all the Castor in the world, you walk into none. Master Garland, what brings you here? A certain missing Allagan weapon and draconic primal. Omega and Shinru, I think the shinobi called it. Anyway, we've been studying their trail of destruction, hoping it might lead us somewhere, which it has singularly failed to do. And 'tis like Omega fell to earth in occupied territory, meaning it may already be in Imperial hands. Even so, it bears repeating that we engaged the stasis systems. Assuming the command was received and executed successfully, the weapon will be of no use to them. Assuming. We should hurry up and find it regardless. All the more reason to reach out to the Resistance. If we want to press on into Girabania, we'll need their blessing. Everyone's counting on us. Let's not waste any more time talking. That part, the Omega part, they do that a lot better after Heavensward. Because that's the raid, or it's the normal raid. There are two types of raids, normal raid and alliance raid. Alliance raid is 24 man, normal raid is 8 man. And the normal raids are always, I don't know if it's 3, I think it's 4 tiers. With 4 encounters in each, and they release them with like each patch after the expansion comes out. In A Realm Reborn, it was Winding Coil of Bahamut, I think, and there it's just weird. It was just bad content. In Heavensward, it's the Alexander thing. But the Alexander thing is like a side quest. Like it has nothing to do with anything. They just like show Alexander once in the entire Heavensward storyline. And that's it. Like you just ignore it. But here it's Omega. Omega is the raid. And it's like a huge part of the whole thing, so if you want more story, you have to go and do that. And it like ties up that whole part. And they do that really well in Shadowbringers as well. Compared to Heavensward. As you've probably heard, there are plenty of factions in the Resistance, so I'm taking us to see the one with the most influence. Their headquarters are located in a place called Rogur's Reach, an old temple to the east of here, across the Velodina River. I learned a route that should allow us to avoid Imperial patrols. Stick with me and we'll be there before you know. Let's go find our democracy fighters. Still with me? Good. From here, we'll head northeast towards the river. The water is not too deep, so we won't have to swim. We're gonna use the chocobo. Leave me alone. Companion. This is my current setup for him. He's got the lemons and barding. I don't have the heavy barding here. I only have like the normal barding. We do have the black mage. That's so silly. The big buzzer. Fight me. I don't see any soldiers. Good. Let's cross. You're wondering about the tower to the south. It's part of Castrum Veladino. That's what the Imperials decided to call the old bridge after they fortified. I call it a great big eyesore. Honestly, you can see that rotten banner from absolutely miles away. Nah, they never miss a chance to rub our noses in it, do they? Come on, we should keep moving. Big crocodile! As always, it's night. It's night in the game. Hate the enemy tribe. There's lots of map area we haven't explored. That's XP. Free XP. Give it to me. What is this? You guys. Come on, be everything. Oh! Okay, I'm not gonna go all the way down there. Way too far. It's a horse. We're here. On the other side of this pass is Ralger's Reach. So you say, but all I see are rocks. I presume there is some sort of trick to this. Indeed, a glamour. Good eye, Stoll. I take it they have a talented mage in their ranks, or mayhap an artificer. An artificer? Trained in the modification of glamour prisms. Something like that. The important thing is that it fools the Garleans. Oh, before we go in, I don't know if Tataru told you, but my friend Nago, the messenger who came to the Rising Stones, is a member of this faction. So they know us, and they shouldn't attack us on sight. That said, they can be a bit jumpy, so let me lead the way, and don't go reaching for your weapons or anything. And with a sprinkle of demasking dust, all is laid bare. Oh no, and no, now everyone can see it. Come and kill them. Why is there like a stretch here that... I feel like I haven't... Or...
I remember the old stories. How the Breaker of Worlds came down from on high and cleft the earth with a single blow. Ralger's Reach, a holy place and a fitting home for the Resistance, for the brave and the true, the loyal sons and daughters of Alamigo. They were waiting for us there, men and women whose souls still cried out for what was lost, for what could be ours again.
You'll forgive us our precautions, but we couldn't be sure who had crossed the barrier. We see you now for who you are, though, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Now, I know you would not have come all this way, unless you had something important to discuss, and I'm eager to hear what it is you have to say. But let's not do this on the doorstep, eh? Come with me.
Allow me to welcome you once more to Ralger's Reach, our humble headquarters. My name is Conrad Kemp, and I have the dubious honor of overseeing operations here.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Master Kemp. I am Alphino Leveilleur of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, as are my comrades. Before I speak of our purpose here, pray allow me to thank you for sheltering Ida, forgive me, Lys, and Papalimo at great risk to yourselves.
No, there's no need for that. They risked their necks for us enough times. 'Twas the least we could do.
I wanted to... I mean, about the mask and...
Ah, don't fret over that. You're not the first person to take up arms against the Empire under a false name. We'd do the same if we had any sense. My condolences for your loss, child.
Papalimo laid down his life to save us, to give us a chance to make a better future for ourselves. There will never be a better time to drive the Garleans from our lands. But we have to take the lead on this. We can't leave it to fanatics like Ilberd.
More than a few of our people were taken in by his promises. Followed him all the way to the wall. Good men and women who never came back. When Monago told us what had happened, how the bastard had made sacrifices of them for his twisted ritual, by Rolger it filled me with an unholy fury. But what's done is done. Best we can do now is see that it wasn't all in vain.
That is why we are here today, sir, to see that some good comes of this tragedy. On behalf of the Eorzean Alliance, we do hereby extend a formal offer of military assistance to the Alamegan resistance.
Do you now? Well, go on then. I'm sure there's more to it than that. So that's the way of it, eh? The Alliance, hoping to avoid a direct confrontation with the superior forces of the Empire, wishes to engage them by proxy with our vastly inferior ones. My comrades and I must confer on your proposal.
How are they terrorists?
Of course, Master Kemp. Take all the time you require.
How are they not? They're not targeting civilians. That's what terrorism is. What are you saying, man? Adds one charge to Gauss round? No, it does what it says. Or it should. If you use Gauss round and the cooldown starts, because the cooldown starts once you use the first charge. And you instantly after that use heat blast. Then the cooldown will only go down to 15 seconds instead of being at 30. Yeah, that's called propaganda, Martin. So, it would seem we find ourselves with a surfeit of free time. Ah, forgive me. You are free to look around Rolger's Reach. In fact, I could encourage you to do so. It'll give you a better grasp of our current circumstances. Thank you, Master Kemp. I believe we will do just that. Terrorism is use of violence against the population, civilian targets, to instill terror. Like that's the whole concept. Anything else is just propaganda. Otherwise, the term has no meaning. Let us make the most of this opportunity and assess the Resistance capabilities. Free to poke our noses wheresoever we will, eh? I like the sound of that. Well, I already know this place inside out. I can show you around if you like, Robin. Great, let's get started. Like Al-Qaeda, etc., they are terrorists because they literally walk on like school buses and explode them. That's terrorism. I'll bet you think the Resistance is mostly made up of Alamegan Highlanders like me, but the truth is that we don't even account for half. We've got Hellscards from all the way over by the spine in here, and plenty of Seekers of the Sun like Nago. What the fuck is a Hellscard? There's even some Beastmen, well, Beast women I suppose, like that one over there. She's an Ananta. They've been with us for a while now. Well, one of the smaller factions has. The rest won't have anything to do with us. We're no different from the Guardians, though. Yeah, exactly. I think they have a couple of those mechanics that reduce the cooldown on the thing. Either that or it's just Heat Blast. I don't remember. I don't remember the names. Well, one of the smallest factions has. The rest won't have anything to do with us. We're no different from the Guardians to them. They keep to themselves, spending all their time crafting. Ananta make the most amazing jewelry, by the way. They use magics to twist metals and crystal into shapes you wouldn't believe. It's a pity people hardly ever get to see their work, but then most don't even know they exist. That's enough about them, anyway. Let's take a closer look at the statue of Rogler, shall we? This bitch. Percy Nalud. Leave me alone, Percy. Pretty awe-inspiring, isn't it? The Breaker of Worlds who guided our ancestor to these lands all those centuries ago. Ida used to tell me the story on stormy nights. She wanted me to understand, to remember. At the end of the 5th Astral Era, when the waters rose higher and higher, people all across the Eorzea besieged the heavens for a sign, and lo, a burning star appeared in the eastern sky, and led the way to these mountains of Gurabania. They who were saved by his grace pledged to honor and revere him, to devote themselves to great works without and within. A storm of blood approaches fast, hells open, heavens weep, for no one soul doth lie beyond the measure of his reach. That last part was inscribed on this stone by a monk of the Fist of Raga. Ida explained it to me. A day will come bringing strife and sorrow, that none may escape. Waste not these precious hours, but in quiet preparation make strong the body and mind. This is so cool. Yeah? I don't know if that storm of blood is finally upon us, but if it is, I have to believe that everything we've been through, everything that has led us to this point, will see us through in the end. Yeah, sorry. That was all a bit melodramatic, wasn't it? Let's keep moving, shall we? Off to the infirmary. I like when you get the flamethrower. The flamethrower is cool because it's fucking weird. It's... let me see here. Yeah. The flamethrower is a 1 minute cooldown, and when you use it, he's just standing there spraying with the flamethrower in front of him in a cone for 10 seconds. It's just so that's your AoE rotation for that like entire fight. You're just standing there doing nothing but flamethrowing because you can't do anything else while it's up. You do like Bioblaster or something to give them all like a dot, and then you just pull up the flamethrower. This is the infirmary, as you can probably tell. Here's where the resistance healers patch up the wounded and tend to the sick. No matter how carefully we planned our operations, casualties were inevitable. It's a sad thing to think about, but it's also important to remember the cost, as Conrad would say. We should go. I'll show you the Aetheryte Plaza next. No, I can't do this. I need the normal barding. Can't do this chocobo fucking black mage party. When you've seen one Aetheryte, you've seen them all, right? Not quite. This one's an older design, dating back decades, when the Feast of Rhalgr was still here. It may look a little different, but it works just as well as any other. I'll show you where the Sutlers are next, but don't forget to attune to the Aetheryte before we go. Done. Did you get the little helicopter summon yet? With the machinist? Alright, I was just gonna say, because it can be a little bit like, should I or shouldn't I kind of deal. But once you get it, it has like a second button that de-summons it and makes it do like a bigger burst of damage. But that one is like, you should never press it. The only reason to ever press it is if you know like the boss is going to like disappear or something, so that you would lose DPS. That's the only reason to press it. Arms, armor, potions, you name it, this folk have got it. The resistance would be in a bad way without brave merchants to keep it provisioned. If you're short on anything or you need something repaired, these are the people to speak to. Oh, Alfino and Alice are here. Why don't I can't talk today. Why don't we see how they're getting on? Come to take the measure of our friendly neighborhood merchants. They're a bold lot, that much is plain. If the Imperials found out they were peddling their wares to the Resistance, they would be lucky to escape with their lives. It's a gamble, aye, and I admire their courage, but their motives could hardly be said to be altruistic. Ah, here you are. I've been looking all over for it. Oh, my ear is so weird, it keeps like making noise all the time when I'm talking. Ugh. Oh. Yeah, that doesn't help. Last time I was there, and they looked in my ear, he said something about, like, me having a little bit of, like, earwax on the side. That's literally what he said. You've got a little bit of earwax on the side. I don't know what that means. But it's probably fine. I'm not sure it's fine. It like feels like something is like rubbing against something, or just like. We've finished discussing your proposal, and we're ready to receive you all back in the back at the tent. I've sent someone to fetch your stolen crime. If you'd like to follow me. Actually, let me check something. Where did I put my phone? I have to check. Should be fine. No, I got a time for getting a check. Oh, it's my ear. My ear's been weird for ages. I have a secret number, so I never get any phone stuff. Anyway, I got a appointment at the dentist for a checkup, and it's at 8 in the morning, and I don't want to go 8 in the morning, so need to reschedule.
Thank you all for waiting. We have reached a consensus. I, Conrad Kemp, do hereby accept the Eorzean Alliance's proposal. You must understand, however, that our cooperation comes with certain caveats.
Those caveats being...
I take no joy in this, just so you know. Were it within my power, I'd offer you more assistance. But the Resistance is far more fragmented than you realize. The men and women in my care belong to but one of many factions. Simply put, I can only speak for the people of Rolga's Reach. Now, I have every intention of appealing to the others, and I expect many will agree, but it will take time, and I cannot guarantee universal support.
Understood. I shall see that the Alliance is under no misapprehensions as to your position.
Much obliged. But that's not the whole of it. As you can imagine, the loss of those who cast their lot with the Griffin left us short on numbers. Some of our most trusted veterans died at the wall, and we've had to fill their posts with the young and inexperienced. Frankly, everything's in a right bloody mess.
Oh, we'd be more than happy to help you get back on your feet. If we're going to work together, we'll be doing ourselves a favor.
Well, there's no shortage of work to be done, that's for sure. We're in dire need of new blood, too.
Ishtola and I could lend a hand in the infirmary. From what I saw, they could do with a few more healers.
Very well. I, for my part, shall return to the Rising Stones. I'm certain there are others among the Scions who would welcome the opportunity to fight for Alamegan liberation.
Is there anything else we can do to help?
I had something else in mind for you lot. Monago and Methred will tell you more.
Understood. We won't let you down.
Right then. Managua and Methred are to be our keepers. Knowing not of what they require, one task is as good as the other. Make your choice, Rob. I'm gonna work with the cat pussy. Cat pussy. Before we begin, I'd like to thank you and the Scions again for patching me up after I bled all over your floor. I owe you my life and I won't forget that. Furthermore, it was rude of me to run off without saying a word. It's all well and good, me claiming my duties here couldn't wait, but a parting thank you was the very least you deserved. My apologies. And thank you. Now to business. Commander Kemps entrusted me with a formal reply to be hand-delivered to the Alliance leadership. It covers everything we discussed, as well as detailing the disposition of our forces. What I need is an escort. 1 or 2 men at most, so we can make it to the wall swiftly and without attracting undue attention. Very well, I shall join you in this. General Aldin commands the forces at Castrum Orientis. It should be simple enough to see it into his hand. Great, that's just what I wanted to hear. When you're ready to depart, meet me at the pass leading out of the Reach. Speak with Manago over there. Ethernet's here, fucking terrible. Western Rogers Reach, I don't know. Where's that? Saves like 3 seconds of running time. Got everything you need? Good. Then let us be off. We should ban flying. I fucking hate flying, dude. I hate flying so much. I hate flying. Quiet. Hear that? That was a ceruleum engine backfire. Imperials. You gods, you have preternatural senses. I didn't hear a thing. When you grow up hunting in these lands, you learn to discern the sounds that would mean life and death, be they of a predator or a patrol. From what I'm hearing, you have a 7-man patrol augmented with a single magitek arm. Wide search pan. Divided into 2, no 3 teams. I don't think they know we're here. It's risky, but we should split up and try to take them all by surprise at the same time. We don't want them calling reinforcements. 3 teams, 3 us. Nothing for it then. Where are they? Head north. You should see them long before they see you. I'll deal with the ones to the south. The armor should be just to the west. Robin's best equipped to deal with that. We should attack in 5. That should be enough time to get into position. Rendezvous on the west bank after. Any questions? No? Then good luck. Oh, Lesser Gagana. I love monsters just standing around. It's super cool. It looks like everything went to plan. Not that I'm surprised. The 3 soldiers I faced didn't put up much of a fight. Most of the Imperials we get out here are conscripts from other provinces, with little training and even less conviction. It's grim work, killing men and women like that, but don't doubt that they'd do the same to you if the roles were reversed. And don't you dare pity a man in armor. Conscript or no, a soldier piloting one of those can kill a dozen good men in the blink of an eye. Not that I need to tell you that after what happened at the wall. Right. I believe we've rested long enough. We should resume our journey before someone notices their missing patrol. What the hell is this? An entire fucking gang right here? Oh, they're gathering to kill the boss. You wanna see how quickly they kill it? Takes like 3 seconds. Gotta join in. Oh, never mind. There are not enough of them. I'm not gonna get anything though. I'm just missing him. I could do this. Exit the battle. There we go. Clean. Yours isn't. And 24 Centurions, yes, sick. We're clear. Only Alliance patrols ahead. You said the forces at Castrum Oriens were under the command of Flame General Raban al-Din, did you not? By Ralgr, the Bull of Amigo himself. I never dreamt I'd have a chance to meet the legend. What's wrong with your HUD? Too many buttons? Switch to gamepad, dude. Or just hide some. You can always put, like, activate the sideways ones. I play at PC, I can't gamepad. I also play at PC. Gamepad at PC feels very wrong. It feels so right, dude. So right.
It is good to see you again, my friends. I hope you are here to tell me you have made contact with the Resistance.
We are, General. Allow me to introduce Monago of Rolga's Reach.
And it hurt my back. Ow!
At your service, sir. And may I say what an absolute honor it is to stand before the Bull of Alamigo.
These are not the Blood Sands, girl. You and I are but soldiers on a battlefield fighting for the same cause.
Lean back.
As you say, General. On behalf of Commander Kemp of the Alamigan Resistance, I present to you our formal response.
He didn't even lose his right arm? No.
Good. I'm glad we've reached an accord. Though I was not aware you had suffered such losses.
Aye. Some of our finest took part in the Griffin's doomed assault, and we've been struggling to find new recruits ever since. The massacres cast a pall over the whole Resistance, and many who might once have been open to joining us have since thought better of it.
Maybe he was left-handed.
After all of the Griffin's false promises, one can hardly blame them. They have no desire to give their lives for a lost cause.
We will not lie to them. This is war, and lives will be lost. Yet what we offer is not the fever dream of a madman, but true hope.
The people need proof of this,
what is that,
Father.
blue?
Let us show it to them. I say we stand shoulder to shoulder with our new allies and engage the Garleans in open warfare. The Resistance must demonstrate that they can hold their own against Imperial regulars. And with our assistance, I am confident they can do just that. If we can achieve even a token victory, I believe it will serve to rekindle the hope of the Alamigan people and inspire them to rise up once more.
Aye. Aye. Once word spread that we'd won a battle against the Garleans, I'd wager we'd have new recruits flocking to us from miles around. The question is, when and where do we strike?
I'm glad you asked. I have a plan.
Once again, I have lost the ability to drink. To drink water without without swallowing it incorrectly. You suck. Fuck you, bitch. Okay, maybe. Our scouts recently informed me of an interesting development at Castellum Valladina. Namely, the arrival of a shipment rumored to have come from the research and development facilities near the capital, containing prototype magitek armor. It is our assessment that this armor is to be field tested here. Most likely against Alliance forces. Mayhap before the day is out. Damn it all! More magitek weapons. That's the last thing we need. Your concern is not unwarranted, but we needn't despair just yet. The shipment is thought to have contained a single heavy unit and 1 or 2 support units. With a well-laid ambush, we're confident we can destroy them all, hindering their development and delaying future deployment. And should we carry this out as a joint endeavor with the Resistance, they will have their rallying cry. It would mean dropping all pretense about the Alliance not wanting to go to war with the Empire, but you'd have a lot more folk willing to stand up and fight if they knew they weren't alone. And you were going to have to do it. You were going to have to do it eventually anyway. Exactly. And so what I propose is simple. We harry their patrols to bait them into bringing their prototype weapons to East End, where our Resistance allies will take them from behind. Simple indeed, and well within our capabilities. I see no reason to delay, especially if a field test is imminent. What say you? Assuming the Vice Marshal's intelligence is accurate, I agree with his assessment and fully support his plan. I shall notify my comrades at once. Understood. I shall have one of my men bring you the details of the plan anon. And we, for our part, will be fighting with the Alliance, yes? I somehow doubt you were interested to sit this one out. Intending to sit this one out. Yeah. We've been careful to avoid needless shows of force this side of the wall, but that's all about to change. And when it does, you may be sure they'll send their new toys out to entertain us. I would ask you to participate in this operation, but from that look I see it is a foregone conclusion. My thanks. For Pippin's plan, we need to turn East End into an Imperial graveyard. You're a dab hand at this. And I'd be a fool not to use you. Head to this spot on your map, right here, aye. A patrol should be along shortly. Deal with them, then rendezvous with the rest of us at this location. Go well, Ron. Okay, I'm gonna fuck him up. No, don't fight me. Don't fight me, stupid trees. That lasts 25, this lasts 21. I think you want to use Fight or Flight right before you use Scoring Blade. That way you can reapply another Scoring Blade at the end of it. Potentially, at least. You get 2 full dots out of it. They snapshot the damage bus, the damage button. All went to plan then. Good. Our scouts report that a unit escorting the prototype weapons has left Castellum Valodina. The resistance is already in position, so we have but to wait for our guests to arrive.
Things looked grim for us after Cartano, didn't they? Oh, how they doubted us. Yet here we are, right as rain, with fancy new toys to put through their paces. It's like all my name days have come at once!
Again? Some of the robots are really, really ugly. Like that one. Why does he have like a big wheel on his back?
Well, 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 if it isn't Garland's little troublemaker. I can't wait to see the look on Xenos' face when I bring him your head. That is, if my secret weapons here don't grind it into mush! Attack!
Alright. Adders, flames, deal with the S4. Leave the armored for Robin. I'm gonna kill everything else. Bugger me, is that General Al-Din? Wahahaha! A chance to get my revenge on Robin and test our new weapons. And kill an Alliance commander. Oh, it doesn't get much better than this. One would almost think he harbored a grudge against you, Robin. Whatever did you do?
Get after them, damn you!
I didn't do anything. Alright, apparently I'm fighting the big one. Always me, always me. What are you idiots doing? Give them everything we've got. There's no end to them. I'm here if you need healing, Rob.
Now,
yeah.
gotcha.
I think. Don't worry about it. Keep it up, lads. That thing won't take much more. Yes, it will. It has 75% of its hit points left. Enough! We have secret weapons of great power, don't we? Let's bloody use them. On your guard, he's up to something. Oh no!
You'll be weeping blood!
Hit Greenwald instead. Exploded after a while. Damn it all! Haven't we got anything else? More armor or weapons or something. Got shit, bitch. Yes, it seems to be perfectly so we can do Riot Flash again. Or whatever it's called. The dot slash. This can't be happening! Not. He who fights and runs. What the? Who in the hells are you lot? For al amigo! Let none escape! Ah! Self-detonate? You think you won, eh? Then we go together! Self-destruct sequence initiate. 7 health. There's no time to get to safety. Kill it. Not complicated. 30, 29, 28. No, no, no! My secret weapon!
Oh! Damn it all! Miracles of Magitech design, my arse! I passed harder stools than these piles of scrap. You'll pay for this. Mark my words, the next time we meet will be the last.
That's so. I wonder if there's a one-handed sword katana. We gotta play a samurai while we're here.
Aye, run and tell your viceroy. The day belongs to Al Amigo.
Why would there not be? Because there's a katana. And the katana is an entirely different class. But there might be one sword that looks like a samurai sword for the Paladin. Well done, all of you. I'd call this operation a resounding success. Can't say I'm surprised. The Bull of Alamigo had an impressive military record before he went west, as I recall. Credit where it's due, Master Kemp. It was Marshal Tarupin who made this plan, and all of you, Resistance and Alliance alike, who carried it out to perfection. Aye, that they did. Not a single casualty for which I'm grateful beyond words. I've no doubt our comrades back at the Reach will feel the same. As will ours. It's been a pleasure, General, until the next battle. Menago, I leave the Scions in your care. We shall return to the Castrum then. Robin, Mistress Levieux, once more, you have my thanks. As Master Kemp said, until the next battle. I want to buy a 10-pack of Gorbies and just eat Gorbies. Maybe I'll do that next weekend. Just eat 10 Gorbies in a day. I'd heard the stories, but to actually see you in action, I almost find myself pitying the Imperials. Seriously though, it was inspirational. Ah, but you must be tired of hearing that, eh? I'll keep it simple then. Thanks for the help out there. Well, there's no reason to remain here any longer. Let's get back to the Reach. I should try making pierogies at home. I really like... I fucking love pierogies. I could eat like 1,000,000 Gorbies. If they weren't like gross. I get Chimo ones. Fry them? Fry them? These are for the microwave. And I never even considered doing anything other than putting them in the microwave or the oven. I've only done them in the oven like once. But it wasn't really worth the effort. Because the problem isn't the microwave. The problem is that the meat sauce is like really bad. Put it that way. It's how I kind of expect Taco Bell to taste like for some reason. But maybe it doesn't. But it's that like weird microwave meat sauce kind of thing. I don't know. It doesn't feel real. Like it tastes like I feel like I'm eating preservatives or something. You didn't have to take part in the operation, but you did. You went above and beyond what was asked for you, without hesitation, and for that we owe you a debt. Our victory may not count for much in practical terms, but its symbolic value can't be overstated. Alliance and Resistance fighters came together to face an Imperial unit equipped with Garlemald's newest weapons, and smashed them. The people will remember this day. Aye, that they will, for it marks the beginning of something far greater than any single victory, the beginning of a campaign for a united Eorzea to drive the Garleans from our lands. Promises and platitudes mean naught without action, but the Alliance took the field and risked their lives for our cause. Ha! To think that the last time Gridanian troops trod this soil was more than a century ago during the Autumn War, and that was to defend their own invasion, defend against our invasion. Wait, I'm gonna read that again. Ha! To think that the last time Gridanian troops trod this soil was more than a century ago during the Autumn War, and that was to defend against our invasion. Did you invade Gridania? Ours is a long and bloody history, to be sure, and it gives me heart to see that despite our acrimonious past, we can still come together for the sake of the future. Well said, Commander, which is why I intend to go from village to village and spread word of our victory and our new alliance. The people will flock to our banners, just you wait and see. Robin, Alice, I cannot thank you enough for your assistance. At the risk of repeating myself, it's still hard for me to believe that we'd meet again here, of all places. Though I reckon you probably don't remember me after all this time, eh? I remember you. You're one of the guys from Quarrymill that we saved. The other guy was the dude that was wearing the griffin mask, and he was pretending to be the griffin and making speeches. I remember you. I'm impressed. Given everything you went on to accomplish, you'd be forgiven for forgetting all about your time in Quarrymill. Suffice it to say, we didn't forget about you either, nor the lives you saved. As for me, I went to Little Alamigo while Galleon was recovering. Gundobald was my former commander and an old friend, and I had a lot on my mind. In the end, I decided to disband our unit. I told the men to live their lives as they saw fit. Some chose to remain in Little Alamigo, and others went to Ul'dah for work. But as you can see, I chose to come back to Girabania and join Conrad and the others. I have kept busy since then, ferrying people and provisions across the border and back. It's not been easy, but it's been fulfilling. Today, however, we'll be heading east into the peaks. Conrad thinks we might have luck finding new recruits in the village of Alagana. Alagana? If you're going there, you're taking me with you. Ah, that's right. You're from Alagana, aren't you, Lise? By all means, we'd welcome the company. There'll be more to it than just asking around, but we can talk about it on the way. Make your preparations and meet me by the tunnel to the peaks. I'm gonna sneeze. Achoo! Oh shit. The tunnel will take us all the way to the peaks. We're on a mission for Conrad to Alagana. Clear the barricade, if you would. Aye, sir. Shouldn't take more than a moment. There are more villagers. There are more villagers out there than here. There are more villagers there than out here. But also more Imperials keeping a close eye on things. We'll need to tread carefully.
I remember the peaks of Girabania, silent watchmen that would stand long after we were gone.
Is it night?
We came seeking allies to join us in the fight against the Empire. People who had had enough. People who had suffered every possible indignity, who had been treated like animals, day after day after day.
We have a glamoring piece. We have a glamoring place here too, as you may have noticed. So far as the Imperials are concerned, this is not more than a testament to the savage impulses of a lesser race. Remember though, once we leave these ruins, we'll have no glamours to conceal us. The village is to the east. Keep watch for patrols as we move. I want daylight. Give me daylight. Marion Imperial in sight. That's a mercy. Alagana's due east, past the bridge. Follow me, it's not much further. No flying allowed. You can rest easy. We made it. This is Alagana. It feels strange coming home like this. I always imagined it would be... Oh, sorry. That has nothing to do with why we're here. We need recruits. Aye, we do. But as I said back at the Reach, it's a little more complicated than just asking for volunteers these days. As you know, we're short-handed because many of our people were taken in by the Griffin's promises, and went to the wall, never to return. It wasn't just them, though. Folks from all over, including some of my former comrades, answered his call to arms. As for why we came to this particular village, it's rumored that Alagana lost a few youths as well. If there's truth to that, then there could be others sympathetic to the cause. And then again, after the Griffin's betrayal, they may be suspicious of outsiders claiming alliance to the Resistance, and rightfully so. So with all that in mind, how are we supposed to convince them to join? I mean, I knew it wouldn't be as simple as giving a speech in the village square. Not if you didn't want the peace. Not if you didn't want the place to be burned to the ground, no. You might as well piss in the Viceroy's eye. We'll need to be a good deal more circumspect than that. You never know when an Imperial spy is listening. We must speak with the Elder first. I know for a fact he can be trusted. We'll listen to what he has to say and decide what to do after. Sounds like a plan. Let's hope there's still some more brave women. Let's hope there are still some brave men and women here willing to fight. Dragonfrit, the village elder, is over by the shore. No time like the present. Let's have a word. Right. Hello, Ragenfried. Don't know you, traveler. You a merchant? You'll not find much custom here. Greetings and well met, Elder, and sincerest apologies that I did not send word ahead of our arrival. Too long have I been away from Malagan, and I would know of your recent troubles. Ah, you're comrades of Mefrid. I see, I see. Speak on, though I suspect I know your purpose. Why are you black? The Griffin came with many men, and left with many more. Such is the rumor. Is it true? He lit a fire in their hearts and then dangled a dream before their tired eyes. And now you come to steal away what few remain. The Griffin was a traitor and a madman, and we had no part in his schemes. We have made an agreement with the Alliance. This time it will be different. This time? This time? Hold comfort to the dead and the ones they left behind. How much more must we give before you've had your fill? But surely you hate the Empire as much as we do. They took our lands, our traditions, even our god, and they demand a fifth of what little we've got left. I hate the bastards with every fiber of my being. But hate's not enough, Mefrid. We can't keep doing this. I'll not tell anyone you came, but you need to go. Now, leave us be, and never return. You've got no right to speak to us like that. I've got a quarry that was producing barely enough to keep us fed, and that was before half our young men and women went off to die for your bloody cause. So yes, I've got every right to tell you to leave my village. No, you don't, because it's my village too, my home. What in the hells are you on about? Wait, I know those eyes. You're one of Curtis's girls. Lise Hext. And I'm here to take back my homeland. By Ralger, the last time I saw you, I didn't even know if you were still alive, and I never thought you would come. I almost didn't, and my sister never will. Lots of others won't either, and that's why we've got to carry on the fight. You even sound like him. As you say, I've got no right to tell you to leave. Alagana is as much your home as it is mine. But I say to you again, we can give no more. Yes, I heard you the first time. Let's go. Hello, angry girl. Flexing. That could have been handled better, but what's done is done. At least we've been granted permission to stay. I was hoping Ragenfried might help us to recruit some of his people, but that clearly isn't going to happen. If we're to convince any of them to join, we'll first need to regain their trust. It's risky and it's hardly subtle, but I say we approach the villagers directly, see what problems they've got, and if we can do anything to help. Makes sense to me. Let's split up and ask around. Oh, angry girl. A new face in Alagana, huh? What would you ask of me then? Blah, 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 blah. Why are you naked? A stranger and a generous soul besides. Bollocks. There's not more suspicious than a good Samaritan. On the other hand, if you were an Imperial agent, I expect you'd go about your business with more discretion. Bugger me, you really are here to help, aren't you? Very well. I'll take you up on your offer, stranger. My little brother's working the rocks by Grim and Enid. He's got something for me. Can you go and get it? Right then. Frightened Curl is his name, asking for the leftovers. He ought to understand. Over here? Over there? Holy shit. It's like a year away. Huh? Here for the leftovers, are you? Not like my brother to send someone in his stead, but so be it. It's all in the sacks over yonder. They're bleeding heavy, mind, so be careful when you pick them up. Unconscionably heavy sacks. Yeah, I got that too, bro. Have to drive a stick shift. Ugh. Eyebrow raised? Question mark? What? Fucking Sumerson. Ah, the new face. You have my leftovers? Ah, well, I'll be. You actually went and bought the whole lot. Much obliged, much obliged. It's saltpeter for making fire sand. In case you're curious what it's all for. The rocks by the lake, the rocks by the lakes got good deposits. It ain't hard for my brothers to pass for any other plodding quarrymen, all the while sweeping bits and pieces off to the side, to bundle up and sell to the sutlers, what trade with the resistance. It's a living and a way of fighting back besides, our way of spitting in the Guardian's eye for putting our father in an imperial uniform, and shipping him off to some faraway province 15 years ago. To know if he's dead or alive even, though if he were alive, he'd not be long for this world if we were caught fighting for the resistance. So this is the best we can do. That's the long and short of it. We do what we can, though we know it's not enough. I think you'll find that most folk here ain't much different. Everybody's got a reason, but in the end the result is the same. I suppose I just wanted you to know, is all. That we know why you're here, and that even if we can't join you, we wish we could. You'd best keep your distance if you know what's good for you. Say your piece and move on. Looking for folks down on their luck. Congratulations, you've found me. As you can see, my leg ain't what it used to be. Some days I can hardly walk for the pain. Mornings are the worst. Mornings are the worst, especially after cold nights. Hard labor's right out. Too much pain and trouble for others. There's a tea that helps with it though. I need to grind a chapuli horn and a hornbill talon for the blend. How do you know? You guys are just like grinding bills and shit together? Drinking it? Yeah? You'll go and get some for me, just like that? You needn't trouble yourself, so. Oh, chapuli? Chidberg? Alright. Urabanian Hornbit. Come here, bitch. You've been gone a while. What brings you back to Olagan? Oh, I never meant to. I mean, in times like these, you never think people will actually... This country's hard on people, but it's not just that. The Imperials, they've made it known I'm not to be helped. A dead man's good for one lesson, you know? Whereas a live one... You're with the Resistance, right? I suppose there's no reason not to tell you that. My father, God's rest his soul, was deathly sick at the time, and so I'd gone out into the forest, spear in hand, to gather herbs, and then I had the good fortune to run into an Imperial patrol. My weapon marked me as a rebel, or so they said. Not that it'd have made a difference if I fought back. I knew what the lot of them were about the moment the Centurion laid eyes on me. Didn't matter in the end, of course. Some people just like to hurt others, and by the time I limped back to the hut, it was too late for my father. Too late for me too, and many others, I imagine. Help them too, if you like. They'll be grateful and say thank you, but beyond that I wouldn't hope for much. Ah, there you are, Robin. I've been trying to help the villagers deal with this food shortage of theirs. Recently, the Imperials have been swooping into villages unannounced and seizing supplies in order to prevent the people from stockpiling, in case they might be in league with the Resistance. It's not much, but I've taught them a few tricks to better hide what little they've got left. Now Lee's getting on. How's Lee's getting on, by the way? You'd think people would be more inclined to trust a local girl, assuming they remember her, that is. No, I didn't mean to. And where were you the past 20 years? Where were you when we were being ground under the Black Wolf's boot? On the other side of this bastard wall, living the high life, I'll wager. That's not fair. I'll fucking kick your ass, bitch. Fuck you. Oh, and who's this? Another one of your freedom-loving friends, deigning to help us poor unfortunate souls. Trying to whip us into a frenzy so we'll go and storm a castrum with our pickaxes and shovels. Leave, all of you, before you bring a cohort down on us all. And you, don't you dare speak like you're one of us. You can't even begin to understand what we've been through. You weren't here, Lise. You weren't here. This is my home, and I love it with all my heart. And if you truly have any love for it too, you'll keep us out of your doomed rebellion. He has a point. No matter what I say or do, it doesn't change the fact I left them behind. But this isn't about me, or anyone else. It's about Alamigo. Let's go and find Mefrid. Looks like the Elder wasn't the only one unwilling to hear us out. Can't blame them, given what happened at the wall. I thought I might be able to appeal to them as a fellow, I don't know. But if anything, it just made them angrier. I haven't lived through it like they have. I can't claim to know the struggle like they do either, Lise. I ran too, But if I hadn't, I'd never met Robin or the rest of you, and we might not be here today in a position to make a difference. So I don't regret my choices, nor will I apologize for them. There's more than one way to fight. Help! Someone! Anyone! We need help! I don't like the sound of that one bit. Come on. Where Krata, he... the Tributum, and the bloody Ratman, they... Damn it all. You there, take a deep breath, and then tell us what happened. It was all business as usual. The Tributum's due soon. The Tributum's due soon, and we were taking it to the Imperials when the Cockern attacked. They took my brother, and our money. Took him where? Ruins to the south of here. Was just an old temple before they came and... Listen, Krata's the only family I've got left. If I lose him, The Ziggurat! If the Ratman took him there, he's as good as dead. We've got to get after them. If there's even a chance her brother is still alive, we have to try. I will go and kill all the rats. Don't you worry. You're right, Lise. We've got to help them, if not for the missing man, then for the Tributum. For the Tributum. The Garleans won't suffer excuses if they're late. What is Lise doing? She's just standing there pumping fists. We're wasting time. Let's go, go, go! So, where Krata is being held somewhere at the Ziggurat to the south, which has been taken over by a host of Cockern bandits. That about covers it then. Be prepared for a fight. They may not be the most challenging foes, but there's sure to be a lot of them. Don't worry, I've got an AoE button. It's a dust animal. There's another monster in Central Shroud in Grindan called an anal as well. I love them. Go kill some anals. Please, let me go. I'm begging you. I don't want to die. Hear that? I think it came from the top of the ziggurat. Who dares to come to loot our man-flesh? Ours to eat. Ours to eat. We knew it'd come to this. Kill them quick before they alert the others. Where'd they go? There. alone, leave me alone. You sense a slavering presence. Come. Hey, Rolger, what did I ever do to deserve this? I've gone to bed hungry for months. I'm skin and bones. I'd hardly make a snack, much less a meal. Oh, you found him. Wait, are you here to rescue me? Your sister sent us. It's going to be alright. My sister? Oh, Rolger be praised, she's safe. And you lot fought your way in here just for me? To think there are still good, brave folk in this world. We should go before the Cockern return in force. Do you still have the tributum? Oh gods, the tributum! The Imperials will be wondering where I am. I have to go. What? Right now? In your condition? You don't understand. We were given a warning last month for being short. If I don't make it in time, there's no telling what will happen to me and my sister. I'm glad we saved him, but seeing him run off like that, I've got a bad feeling about this. Listen, Robin, Mephic, I think we need to go after Werkrata. Wait, you had better not be thinking of stopping him. You heard what he said. If they don't pay one way, they'll pay another. I know that, I do, and I don't want to interfere, I just want to see that he makes it there safely. If that's the sum of it, then fine. Let's head down and see if we can pick up his trail. I'm gonna use the flying chocobo whenever I can fly down. Flying down is okay. Upon closer inspection, you find nothing of interest. Oh, that's cool. Very hype. I'm gonna jump over these guys. No? Okay, there. Upon closer inspection, you find nothing of interest. Oh, that's cool. That's also very cool. Rotting veggies. Upon closer inspection, you find nothing of interest. Well, cool, dude. Chocobo feather. Now we're talking. In the dirt, you spy a chocobo feather. Any luck? A chocobo feather, is it? Aye. By my reckoning, it came from Burkrata's bird. In which case, there's a collapsed bridge just around the bend. Hug the rocks and stick to the shadows. We'll find him soon enough. People struggling with stick shift driving is really weird to me. It's so easy. It's like you figure it out before you even drive the car. Like you just press the thing and then just shift the gear. Any minute now, I'll expect he'll come thundering around the bend. And hear that? Get to cover quickly now.
Are they Imperials?
Worse. Skulls. Listen, Lise. Whatever happens, stay hidden and do not intervene. Understood?
What?
You there! Halt! You know you shouldn't be here. Explain yourself.
Forgive me, sir. I came to deliver the tributum.
Oh, aye. A likely story. Only a fool would dare to come so late. Or, mayhap, a resistance spy.
No, you've got it all wrong. I was waylaid by bandits. It's not my fault.
I said halt!
Bonk.
Is this a joke? You don't seriously expect us to believe this is a fifth? How stupid do you think we are?
It is, I swear, on my mother's life.
Spare us. You came late, you lied about bandits, and then you tried to cheat the Empire of its due.
Think you can kill them all? Including the ones watching from the tower? Even if you did, others would come for him and his family. You'd be condemning them all to a life of hard labor, assuming they didn't just execute them, that is.
But it isn't fair.
Bonk bonk.
It's your bloody fault we're stuck out here patrolling this god's-forsaken wasteland. It's your fault I have to listen to people go on and on about how Alamegans can't be trusted. I've worked and toiled harder than any man. I'm a citizen, goddammit. And what are you? A stupid, stubborn little dog who'd sooner bite the hand that feeds him and pine for the good old days.
That's enough! Lord Xenos is expecting our report.
Angry wife. With a banana sword.
I bet the poor bastard can't believe his luck. He gets to go home. We should do the same.
Yeah, that is pretty cringe. I'd heard their commander was a keen-eyed... I'd heard their commander was keen-eyed, but gods, that was a new thing. It tears me up inside to see our own kinsmen doing the bidding of the Viceroy. But they made their choice, and if it comes to it, I'll cut down every last one. Last one of them myself. Urkrata's alive, and the tributum's been paid. That's all that matters for now. I, for one, would rather not wait around to see if the skulls decide to return. We'd best get back to Algan and tell Ragnfrid his man got the job done. We owe you a debt of gratitude for what you did. Urkrata told me everything. How you fought with the Cockern and saved his life. For all the good it did. We saw what happened when he met with the skulls. How they beat him half to death. We could have stopped them. I reckon you could. Mefrid's a warrior, as is your comrade. And you're strong, like your father. That much is plain. But I thank Rogger you did not. Because it would not have ended with them. Urkrata and his sister would have been branded insurgents, if not the whole lot of us. Bones heal, scars fade, but the dead man remained dead. We're alive, and that's more than can be said for any that's more than can be said for only the gods know how many others. That's enough for you, is it? To put up with whatever they do to you, so long as you get to see another day. That's right. You grit your teeth and you learn to live with the pain. I'll admit, I was quick to judge you, Lise, and for that I apologize. I know you and yours mean well, I do, but I'm telling you, God's in the heavens as my witness, that we've got nothing left to give. We can't help you. I understand. Thank you for your honesty. She may say it, but she doesn't mean it, nor would I expect her to. Her father was stubborn as an old ox too. If she's set on walking the same path, I but pray she won't follow it to the same end. Well, she took it better than I anticipated, which isn't saying much, I suppose. We should go and see if she's alright. Whoop. Out here sulking. Sorry about running off like that. Alamigan's terrorizing their own. I just can't accept it, you know? No matter what he thinks, they shouldn't have to put up with it, day after day after day. I'm not completely naive, you know? I didn't expect them to storm a castrum with their pickaxes and shovels or whatever it was, but nor did I expect Urkrata to just lie there in the dirt while they kicked him. I can't claim to know their pain. I barely remember this place or even my father's face, but I remember Ida's. I remember how scared she was when we ran. And that look in her eyes when she talked about home. Her home. But not mine, is it? There you are, Lise. I've been looking all over for you. you found me. Got something else to say? Aye, that I do. I said some things to you before that I shouldn't have. It wasn't my place to do so, and I'm sorry. All that rubbish I spouted about how I loved my village. But when one of ours was in need, I was cowering here with all the others. I didn't even think to go after Burkrata, but you did. Made me feel like the bloody hypocrite I am. If I truly cared for my people, I'd fight for them. So I will, if you'll have me. You're asking to join the resistance? When you put it like that, I suppose I am. But not just me, there are others I know who've been thinking about it for a while now. There's not many of us, and we're not hardened warriors like you lot, but... If your heart bleeds for Alamigo, then that's good enough for me. You and yours are more than welcome at Ralgur's Reach. Thank you, sir. You won't regret this. I'll go and speak with the others and send word when we're ready. Still think this isn't your home? No, I was just thinking out loud. And with that, my friends, our mission is concluded. Let us return to the Reach. Reach is over here. Is there an inn here? I don't think so. First of all, allow me to commend you both on a job well done. Though nothing went according to plan, we nevertheless managed to attract some new recruits, and it was your passion and conviction that moved them to join. Thank you. No, thank you for giving me an opportunity to find out what our people have been through these past 20 years. It's been humbling. And troubling, too. I'd heard about the skulls, but that was the first time I'd seen them in the flesh. I know you say they're the same as any other Imperial soldiers, and maybe that's how I'll look. I'll have to think of them myself if our paths ever cross on the battlefield, but... when, not if. That day will come, Lise. You can't afford to hesitate when it does. Young, old, conscript, citizen, Garlean, Alamigan, none of that matters. They've all got their reasons, but they're no better than yours, especially when they're bearing down on you blade in hand. Saying that, I don't want to kill them any more than you do. If I could convince them to lay down their arms, I would. Sadly, I've never been much of a talker myself, but who knows? Maybe you could be one. Maybe you could be one, Lise. Your father certainly was. Right then. I'd best begin preparing for these new recruits. Robin, Lise, it's been a pleasure. Owing to the efforts of you all, we have accomplished a great deal in a short time. The Resistance thanks you for your service, Scions. I see operations here have been proceeding apace in my absence. Who are these guys? Welcome back, brother dearest. I take it your efforts to gather new recruits were successful. Indeed, There were several amongst the Scion's ranks that were quite eager to take part in our joint endeavor with the Resistance, whom I am come to present. Commander Kemp, if I may. My name is Arenvald Lentius, a half-breed, as you can doubtless tell. I am here to fight for a free Alamigo, for an Alamigo where women like my mother are never made to suffer. I pray you grant me this honor. Literally the whitest knight. You are a true-born son of Girabania, same as me. This is not my honor to grant, but yours to freely take. Welcome, brother. With our swelling ranks and the aid of the Eorzean Alliance and the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, I believe we will soon be in a position to seize the initiative. Once our new recruits have received sufficient training, I will propose to General Aldin that we draw up plans for an assault on Castrum Veladino. Then in the meantime we will make what preparations we can. Meanwhile, in the royal palace of Alamigo. This is just like the Russian national song. I was about to call it theme song. Russian OP. Russian OP1.
Alliance forces have occupied Castrum Orients and taken up positions along the length of the wall. Our patrols have engaged their reconnaissance parties on site, but there have been no significant exchanges, save one. A unit tasked with field-testing prototype Magitech weapons was attacked. The weapons were destroyed, with the unit sustaining near-total casualties.
Near total? Go on.
My lord, there was but a single survivor from the unit in question, which falls under my command. According to his report, they were ambushed by a contingent of Eorzean Alliance regulars, abetted by resistance insurgents.
Sounds like a BBC announcer. Okay.
A simple ambush and only one survivor. A fine day's work. The stubbornness to survive is not without worth. He may live. However, the 12th is no place for the weak.
He shall be relegated at once, my lord. As you say, the 12th is no place for cowards who count their lives more precious than the cause.
Indeed, indeed. We have no need of cowards.
My lord,
Cowards who defer critical missions to their subordinates, who hide within their castra, never meeting their prey in battle, never staring into the whites of their eyes.
Fulgrim? Who?
Why? When confronted with a heretofore unknown icon, did we surrender the wall to the Alliance? Because my honored father, in his infinite wisdom, has not seen fit to grant us leave to march on their lands.
That's why I don't know it.
We have extended an invitation to our neighbors. Gir Abania is where we shall host them. The field upon which we shall enjoy the sport of kings. Patience is paramount. Cornered animals may have spirit, but they are ultimately predictable and very poor sport. But if one dangles the promise of freedom before them while nipping at their heels to stoke their passion, then things become interesting.
This is not the Emperor. This is his.
It is a delicate dance,
this is the Prince.
one which asks much of my house. And so I put the question to you, my fellow huntsman. How shall we deal with these savages?
Oh.
My lord, I have a proposal.
Silence, Alamegan! You do forget yourself! Only by the grace of Lord Van Baelsar were you afforded a place here, and that in name alone. We have no need of your proposals, savage.
Does Fulgrim have 3 katanas?
This savage yearns to hunt her own. The floor is yours, Commander.
Thank you, my lord.
But it wouldn't surprise me if there was some Space Marine influence in the design of the Garleans. Right then. I've got duties to attend to. Mayhap we could assist you with said duties. We are here to help, after all. The three of you have been busy, so I will understand if you require time to rest. If not, however, it would seem sensible to assist our allies with their preparations. We'd be grateful for any help, any and all help you can offer. If you ask around, I guarantee you won't want for work. Alright, I'm gonna ask this random guy if he needs some help. Hey, you need some help? I beg your pardon? The man who bested Gaius Van Baelsar wishes to offer me his assistance. I say, this is highly irregular, though I have heard it said you had a penchant for aiding the common man, in which case, before the occupation I was a humble historian. While my duties leave me scarce time for aught else, I think it important that these momentous events be recorded for the benefit of future generations. Primary sources are indispensable, and I had a mind to question a number of my fellow freedom fighters. Ask them for their motivations for taking up this cause and so forth. You may take down their statements in this log, and, Robin, thank you for your service. Now and ever out. Shitloads of people to talk to. Slayer of a beggar found something, that is your epitaph? Yeah. Why wouldn't it be? Why did I join the Resistance? Well, if you must know, it was to avenge a friend, the Imperials butchered before my very eyes, back in Alamigo. He owned a stall in the market, and a passing soldier snatched up a piece of fruit. He spoke out before I could stop him, only to get a full of steel in the gut for his troubles. I found my way here, and that was that. Yes, it's almost like people in a nation that had a gigantic wall separating them from our realm has limited information about what I have done in another country that was also separated from everyone else, and have been at war with the Empire, and then I killed the Empire's commander in the area, and that's what they know about me. Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. Yeah, you don't know anything. I was just a cook before all this. Simple fare, really. Had a chance to lend a hand and help feed some refugees one day. I took a liking to the fighters. They believed, you know. And there's always a need for cooks, or at least people who can work with whatever the foraging parties turn up. Why would I know anything? I don't know. Why would you know anything? Why? Why indeed? To save lives, perhaps, or to make amends for the ones I couldn't. My father and my brothers were worked to death while building a castrum. What did it matter to the Guardians, eh? More where that lot came from. After that, I couldn't keep on doing nothing. You have a huge hawk? Huge hawk? You're a huge what? Huh? Aren't you the Icon Slayer? Damned if I know why you'd bother asking someone like me why I joined the Resistance, but it's simple. If I wasn't fighting for Alamigo, I'd be fighting for the Empire. You're either with them or not, and if you're with them, you may as well make the most of it. Food, training, citizenship if you live long enough. You'll die stealing someone else's land, like it's not, but that's the choice. But me, I'd rather die here. So which teleport is which? Northeastern Ralger's Reach, yes. Well met, Robin. Have you spoken with the freedom fighters as I asked? As fascinating as they are varied, you have a knack for convincing others to bare their hearts to you. I could not have done better myself. Many years from now, when these tempestuous times pass into memory, their accounts will serve as a window into the struggle. We must never forget, my friend. Never. Hello, I think this time we will ask this specific random person what I can do for them. You want to help, do ya? Seeing as how I'm in no position to leave this stew pot unattended, could you go and ask Tebby for a variety of herbs. 6 sprigs or so of whatever he's got in hand should suffice. It's not as haphazard as it may seem. Depending on the recipe, it doesn't really matter what sort you add, as long as you add something. I'll be here when you get back. Yeah, I agree, dude. Any spice is better than no spice, dude. Oh, Tab? Why do you all have this ugly hat? Herbs, is it? Six sprigs of whatever's on hand. Afraid I can't spare that much. You'll take 2 and be glad of it. Alright, dude. The remainder you'll have to gather yourself. Shouldn't be too much of a bother, though. You'd be surprised what you can find growing underfoot, even in the Reach. Collecting some oregano from around the trees. What the fuck is oregano even? Oregano. It's a little green bush. Wild oregano. Where does it grow? Yes, I know what it is. I'm more curious about like what kind of plant it is. And where it grows wild. Like just walking around the forest and picking oregano. It's oregano. Foraging season. It was native to the Mediterranean region, but was widely naturalized elsewhere in the temperate northern hemisphere. Wild marjoram. If I attempted to forage, I would be dead in a day. Oh, you wouldn't. You don't forage for a day, you go out for like an hour. Maybe 2 at most. I remember not paying attention. Did you do? What is marjoram in Swedish? Mejram. Oh, okay. Wild oregano. Just thinking if would be something interesting to buy from my mom. But I think if I would buy her anything, I would buy her a bunch of violets so she can make me what is it, violets? I think so. So we could make Viola sugar. Need to hunt them tomberries? That one's easy. You pull all the monsters until you can't run anymore, and then you kill them. That's how you do that dungeon. It's a level 50 dungeon, and they're all super easy. Because the scaling doesn't work right. Yep. As long as you don't miss one. Then you have to do it again. They got rid of the hunting logs. I think they meant to kind of replace the whole thing with the hunting things instead. Where you get the weekly stuff, so that everyone can just get new ones weekly. Or daily. Yeah. Hunting bills. Ah, there you are. Got those herbs that I asked for? Thanks, that'll do nicely, and sorry to impose upon you, sir. Though you were... thought you were another new recruit. Didn't realize until after you were, But to answer the question that's probably on your mind, yes, it's always like this. Never enough food or supplies to go around. All the more reason to be grateful when our countrymen can spare some for our cause. Though that comes at a cost to two. Too many villages, too many children more deserving than us. But a man can't fight on an empty stomach, can he? So we partake, as we must, and we never lose sight of the dream. Hey dude, the supply line. Maintain the supply line. More games should be about the supply line. You look like a strider in search of comrades in need. If so, I have a task for you. I am a trainer, and I was told to expect new recruits this eve. Yet nary a one has come. Perhaps they were given the wrong time or location. I do not know. They number 5 in all. These would-be warriors. Send them unto me. Should you have chance to find them. Like, unironically, almost every single 4X game, like, my biggest issue with them is that there is no supply line stuff in it at all. And even if you want to abstract it, there's, like, barely any attrition. Like, in Stellaris, you literally just, like, walk. The only thing you do is walk. There's nothing else. You just walk. Walk over things. You don't have to worry about anything. There's no cost for attacking or anything. You just go. Let's go walk. The way they do supply lines in Total Warhammer 2 is god-awful. I don't remember. Like I said, all I remember about that game is sitting in my little place with my army and not being able to move, because if I did, the AI would take that. And if I moved my army that I had on the other end, then the AI would take that. So I couldn't do anything. Like you were just sitting there. Every army you add increases upkeep by like 20%. Yeah. Yeah. But that's also my issue with Total War. The only complexity that exists in the game is in the troop battles. And the on-worlds, the on-map stuff is so bad. Like, if it was literally only troop battles, I would be okay with it. Kind of. Like, I still think it's too janky. But the on-world map stuff is what makes me not want to play it. Mostly, to be honest. It's just so lame. I haven't played Three Kingdoms. I only played Rome 2 and Medieval 2. And Warhammer. I saw Kibbs play a little bit, and they were talking about Cao the entire time. I know, I'm late, but I had to say a prayer for my sister first. After what the Imperials did to her, death was a mercy. I'd never want to install a Total War game ever again in my entire life. Oh, how do you pronounce it then? Cuckoo? QQ? Que? Que? Zhao. Cao. Fuck Chinese. Not Chinese, it's Mongolian. Huh? Training? Yeah, I was so busy practicing to impress the others that I completely forgot. Thank you. Ah, 1,000 pardons. So preoccupied was I by the question of whether Alamigo should be a monarchy or a republic that I neglected to attend my training. How silly, I know. Until we drive the Imperials from our lands, the question is moot. That was Martin. We had to send Martin back to training because he was slacking off. We need to do this, a leveling roulette, because any second now we're gonna be at level 62 quests. The teacher calls for me. I see. We were discussing strategies for disabling Magitek armor, you see, and... Ah, yes, of course, there is no time. If you would excuse me. Well, no. We don't need to do that. There is a level 61 dungeon. Calls him Sun Zi. Ooh, what? I don't care. I think the last one's hiding back here or something. Hey, bro. Oh, bugger! You were sent here by the snake, weren't you? I heard 1 in 4 recruits doesn't live through their training. That can't be true, right? Oh, bugger, oh, bugger. You can't pronounce Chinese correctly because it doesn't use the right fucking letters. At least romanize it correctly. Like the Japanese. All recruits are present and accounted for. My thanks to you, Strider. Not all appreciate the rigor with which I train my recruits. Some favor a gentler approach, as if the Imperials will be so kind. It is a thankless job. To teach, some say, but I say their survival is thanks enough. Fare you well. There. You are a swarthy resistance fighter. What is a person that is swarthy? Damn it all! Where could it have got to? Pardon me, my fellow lover of freedom and justice. You haven't seen a ward of the Destroyer anywhere, have you? Maybe on the ground, as if a certain bloody fool had dropped it. Lifeline is the worst. I'd been him. I had it this morning, that much I knew for certain, and I have not left the Reach since, so it's got to be around here somewhere. If you've got a moment to spare, would you be willing to help me search? I spent some time near the Temple of the Fist earlier, so I might be there. It might be there. As for me, I'll look around near the officer's pavilion. They're hardly rare, I know, and I could just as easily buy another, but even so, please, help me find it. Alright, my dude. How, what? How is Light the worst? Because he wants you to pronounce the Chinese correctly. And he's always badgering me about pronunciations. Yeah, he's the worst. I swear, I've searched high and low, but it just won't turn up. 7 hells, that's the one! That's my lucky ward! You're a godsend, brother! Before I was born, my mother made a pilgrimage to the Temple of the Fist, where she, like many others, received the blessing of the monks. And then Theodoric came and burned it all to the ground, the mad bastard, and after him came the Guardians, who cared even less for our beliefs. But I still keep to the old ways, as do many others. And when my son is born, I'll teach him the stories and the scripture as my mother taught me. Alright, brother. And with that, another task is complete. Ah, Robin, I hear you've been keeping busy. Aye, that he has, and we thank him for it. It pleases me to inform you that our new recruits have completed their initial training and stand ready to contribute. As discussed, Manago, I would have you present my proposal for an assault on Castrum Belladina to General Aldin personally. Here you go. Of course, sir. Are you and yours planning to return to Castrum Oriens before the operation? If so, why don't we travel together? That seems a fine suggestion, but I must consult my comrades ere we depart. Very well, I will wait for you at the pass, but not too long. I expect Kral and Yerstola will wish to remain here to support the Chirurgeons. But nevertheless, we should go and ask them. Or at least tell them where we're going. It's autumn is. I see. That would explain the sudden flurry of activity outside. This joint operation marks a turning point in our conflict with the Guardians. For the first time, the Resistance and the Alliance shall go on the offensive and attempt to capture an Imperial outpost in occupied territory. Personally, I believe it is imperative that we offer them our full support, as was the case with the Ishgard. However, this is not a choice to be made lightly, nor less on others' behalves. This is war, and every scion must decide what part he or she would play. I'll fight. For Ala Mhigo, for my father, for Ida. I'm in it to the end. The choice was made for us ere we were born, brother, when the Empire marched on Eorzea. They will stop at nothing to subjugate or slaughter us all. Van Baelsar and Van Darnus were but the first to try. Though your fervor is surprising, I cannot dispute your logic. At the risk of repeating myself, I am of course of the same mind. The present situation is untenable, and further complicated by the existence of Ilverd's Primal. I believe we have no recourse, but to directly and openly intervene. I thought this a foregone conclusion, given our actions thus far, but if you require renewed affirmation, then yes, I am still wholly committed to this cause. For it is ultimately the selfsame cause I have served since first I pledged to serve Master Louis Swan and the Circle of Knowing, the salvation of Eorzea by any means necessary. That said, I shall refrain from taking the field on this occasion. There are many here who require further treatment, and doubtless more to come after. I came here for Minfilia, and that hasn't changed. However, I'd like to stay with Y'shtola for now and tend to the wounded. As for you, Robin, you are, to quote our dear friend Lord Edmund, the man who slew Gaius Van Baelsar, and some half-dozen primals besides. Your presence may well prove the difference between victory and defeat. Well, yeah, obviously. I'm going to literally do like 80% of the work. Many look to you as a hero, and heap great expectations upon your shoulders. But you, like every scion, must decide for yourself. To be frank, Alfie, this isn't my fight, but I will do what I must. I'll fight. The Empire poses too great a threat. We can but carry on, for those we have lost, for those we can yet save. As long as there's a battle to be fought, I'll be there. I'll fight. The Empire poses too great a threat. Indeed, as you have doubtless seen during your time in the outlying villages, their so-called meritocracy is but a pretext to torture and enslave their lesser subjects. Such is the fate that awaits us all should their expansion continue unchecked. Oh, now we're anti-meritocracy as well? Take care, Y'shtola, Trial, and do not hesitate to contact us should you require assistance. Please, I would ask you remain here by Conrad's side. We should go, or Minago will leave without us. No, it's the Empire that's literally evil. Might I persuade you to join us, Robin? Should you wish to give your choices, should you wish to give your decision further consideration, Castrum Oriens would seem an apt place to do it. You need not answer right away. I'm sure I can convince Minago to wait a little longer. So, you will be accompanying us. Full glad am I to hear it. All set? Excellent. Then let us be off. Castrum Oriens. Ah, my arm, it hurts so bad. Welcome back, comrades. What news? Greetings, General. I am come at Commander Kemp's behest to brief you on the latest developments at the Reach. Our recruitment efforts have exceeded expectations. In addition to welcoming many motivated young Alamegans, our ranks have been bolstered by the arrival of a number of experienced veterans, thanks in large part to the efforts of the Scions. As a consequence, we are now able to field a half-dozen new units, with more being trained as we speak. Good. I gather Conrad is eager to strike while the iron's hot. Just so, General. He proposes that we begin preparations for a joint operation to capture Castellum Veladina. Capture Veladina? That will not be easy. It will, however, be necessary if we are ever to push east towards the capital. There is no profit in delay. It's only a matter of time before the Garleans learn of our plans and summon reinforcements. The Alliance hereby accepts Commander Kemp's proposal. Tell him to take no chances. Bring every able-bodied Alamegan who can wield a weapon. Pippin, I want Veladina watched. Assess its defenses. Every fortress has a weakness, and I would know this one's. If there's no objection, General, might the Scions join Marshal Tarpin? By all means. If that is all, let us be about it. Conrad and the General are of one mind, it seems. I only wish I could say the same. While this aggressive strategy may well profit us in the end, what losses will we suffer in the meantime? Anyway, we should speak with the Vice Marshal about this reconnaissance mission and see how he would like to proceed. Yeah. That mission has a little graphic there, which means there's probably gonna be a cutscene and shit. So I think we'll stop there. Because it's stopping time. Today was a short stream. Have to continue tomorrow. Maybe my nose won't be stuffy and clogged and snotty then. Anyway. Next time. Thanks for hanging. Have a good night.